stop and get some gas. Go juice. Let's stop and get some go juice. Be sitting on the side of the road somewhere. Man, I hate traffic on a Friday. I guess I'll go to Costco and get gas. Yep. These fucking people, I swear. Man, I just somebody let the floodgates open up there. Yeah, I sure did. I probably could have gone a couple of times, but I didn't want to chance it. I'll just sit here and wait. It's no big deal. What's up, y'all? Friday. Yep, Friday. I like Fridays. That means I get to sleep in tomorrow morning. Of course, I usually only sleep in until about 7 o'clock or so on Saturdays. I get up, I fix myself some breakfast about 8, and stuff like that. Yep. So what's happening, y'all? Yep, I'm definitely going to stop and get some go juice. That's for sure. A nice looking motorcycle. Oh, you can see that. Yep. Nice Harley Davidson motorcycle. Yep. Anyway, yep. So I did something a little different today. I actually built some shit today. I built ladder racks today. I did 4 ladder racks, and the last one only took about 40 minutes. I think the first one took like an hour, hour and a half. And the second one may have taken about an hour. But I think the last one, well, I don't know how much the third one took because I didn't really time it, but the last one only took about 40 minutes to do. Yeah. Let's see if I can get there. Like, I know it's a Harley. I don't know what kind of Harley it is, but it's a Harley. Yeah. Anyway. Yep. Somebody getting pulled over or something. Shit. Sorry, y'all. I got no viewers. I wonder why. Watch, everybody will come in while I'm getting gas. It's the second time I've dropped my phone. I was doing a live video earlier and I dropped my phone. Actually, I think I knocked it off the table by accident. The table must have moved or something. I knocked it off by accident. That's okay. Thank God I've got one of those good cases on it, you know, it falls. And no matter how it falls, I don't break my phone, you know what I mean? Hey there, what's happening? So I got to stop and get some go juice, so I'll be on a couple more minutes and I got to get some go juice, and then I'm going to run this video till I get home. How much of the conversation could you hear today? when you were watching me earlier. I know there was a point you said you couldn't hear me. Did you not hear anything at all after that? Or did my volume come back? Or my microphone, did it come back? I had my headphones on, you know, the ones that are headphones, dual microphone, none. So there was like no voice at all, huh? Didn't hear anything but the music. Oh boy. Well, that's gonna suck, because I'm sure that they're gonna cut my video and hit me with another infraction. Oh well. I'll just dispute it as I always do. Just tell them, look, I didn't mean to play what was playing. You were talking pretty much to yourself. Yeah, I was talking to myself, I guess. I had headphones, like I said. I was hoping maybe I was talking to my audience. You know, people could hear, because I was kind of explaining, you know, why I was building those ladder racks and how they were going together, and, you know, like things like that. And I was explaining, you know, that the reason I wanted to do the video was so people could, so I could time it, you know, to see how long it took me to build one of those things. The Bluetooth wasn't connected. Yeah, well, it said it was, but I guess not. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I can't use my Bluetooth when I go live. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I've never tried doing a live video, you know, with my Bluetooth on. I've always just let the phone do all the listening, you know what I mean, on the microphone or whatever. Yeah, it was only 40 minutes. I think the first one I did today took like an hour and a half, because it's been quite a few years since I've built one of those ladder racks, and I was having to look at the instructions, you know, as I went along, and there was a couple of places where the instructions really didn't give me, like, you know, good enough details that I could figure it out, so I had to kind of figure it out. But once I got rolling, it wasn't too bad. The second one took a little less time. I did have a couple of things I screwed up on the second one, though, so I had to go back and change a couple of the bolts and nuts around, and the washers. But for the most part, it was pretty good. I think the second one took maybe like the first one took maybe an hour and a half. The second one took maybe an hour. The third one maybe took me 45 minutes to an hour, and the third one only took 40 minutes. So, you know, as I said, it's always kind of interesting when you're doing something either you haven't done in a long time or something that you've never done before. Like the first time you do it, it always takes a lot longer, because you got to kind of figure it out as you go. You know what I mean? But and then after you get rolling, you know, and you kind of get an idea, like where all the nuts and bolts and stuff go, you know, it gets a little easier as you run along. So, you know, it works. But yeah, and I had that little mishap, you know, I dropped my phone during my live feed. Certainly didn't mean for that to happen, but it did. So, anyway, this woman looks like she's about to freeze to death. I don't know if you guys will be able to see her or not. Poor lady. Look at that. She's got a scowl on her face. Let's see her license plate. It says Ronin #9. Anyway, yeah, I'm at Costco. I need to get some gas. You just weighed myself. You weighed 98 pounds. So you need to put on some weight. You know your sister's getting fat. Shh, don't tell her I said that. I don't know. She said she's on some kind of medication that's making her eat good. So hopefully she'll put on a few pounds. You know, she's filling out, I guess, like she should. But You're on an all liquid diet. Was that because of the kidney stones or what? All right, here we go. All right, you guys hang loose. I gotta just held 2 surgeries back to back. Yeah, I know. All right, y'all give me a few minutes. I gotta go get some Go Juice. I'll be right back. The gas is only $2.36 where I'm at. That's pretty good. If you don't know how to cook for yourself, you was never taught. Well, you had ample opportunity. I tried to teach you how to wash dishes too, but you weren't very good at that, were you? I'll be right back. All right, folks. Here I is. Chilly out. So I'm hearing it's supposed to snow this weekend again. At least that's what the supervisor said. Thank you very much. I know how to wash dishes. I've gotten better though over the years. Yeah. Going to get cold Sunday here. Yeah, in Rock Hill. Yeah, it's supposed to be cold here. We're supposed to be down in the single digits Sunday. Tomorrow it's supposed to, I think the high is only going to be in the 20s tomorrow. So, yep, it's going to be cold again. Gotta love that wintertime, don't you? Let's see here. I got to reset my tripometer. Tripometer. All right, tripometer reset. There we go. Well, I got 271 miles out of that last. I put 15 gallons in, a little over 15 gallons, and I spent 36.50, I think, 38.50. That's not bad. That's generally about what I spend anyway, about $35 or something like that, 35 to 40. Depending on the price, it was $2.32 today. So that's pretty good. Cheap gas, I like cheap gas. Anyway. 17 degrees there. It's 38 here right now. And I'm in case some of you don't know where I'm at, I'm in Missouri, so it's 38 degrees here in Missouri right now. And like I said, I think it's supposed to snow this weekend. We got some snow, was it Saturday before last? And that was the first snow of the year. And we got a little over 6 inches, I believe, in some places. At my house, I got about 5 or 6 inches. And it lasted, well, it lasted pretty much all week. Man, my sinuses are messing with me. Oh, allergies are acting up. You know, I never had allergies till I moved here to Missouri. I never had a problem with them at all. And now it seems like, my nose bothers me a lot, you know, when the weather gets cold. Let's see here. Where's my odometer? There it is. So if I drive my car, my truck here another week, looks like I'm going to be putting 250,000 miles on it. Yep. 250,000. I've never had a car. Well, I don't know. My little, I had a little Chevy Cavalier. It was a 2003. And it had the little quad 4 motor in it. That was a little badass car. And I had 240 some thousand miles on it when I sold it to my brother. That asshole. I told him, you know what's really fucked up is that, you know, when I sold my car to my brother, I said, now if you ever decide to sell this car or ever want to get rid of it, let me know and I'll buy it back from you. Oh yeah, man. I said, well, either that or sell it to somebody in the family. You know, I want to keep this car in the family because it was like the only thing my dad really ever bought me my whole life was that car. And I told him, I said, well, if you ever decide to get rid of it, let me know. I'll buy it back from you. And I hadn't seen him in a couple of weeks. I went down to mom and dad's house, and there was a red Volkswagen of some kind, Scirocco or something, Jetta, sitting in the driveway, and I was like, where'd that thing come from? You know, that little asshole sold my Cavalier. I mean, I know it wasn't mine because I sold it to him, but he didn't do what I asked him to do. He didn't sell it back to me. He didn't even call me to say, hey Jimmy, are you interested in this car? You know what I mean? I guess he automatically assumed that, you know, since he owned it, he could just do whatever he wanted to with it, which I guess he had the right to do. But, you know, for him not even to consider, you know, selling me back that car, it kind of really pissed me off. Because I knew what was wrong with it. It would only cost, it would throw a check engine light. It would run real rough sometimes, but it was a coil pack was the problem, or something having to do with the coil wire. And it was an easy fix. It was only going to cost about $300 to fix it. I could have bought the part and fixed it myself, you know, but I guess he decided that, you know, he didn't want to wait, you know, the time it would take for him to sell me that car and me give him the cash. He called that Carvana company And lo and behold, he moved out, went back to Wisconsin where he's from, and a little asshole got he had his car repoed. He ended up going to jail again, like dumbass, and he ended up going to jail, and the car got repossessed. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that. So I was pretty irritated with it. I'm still really irritated. I'm still pissed off about that car because the car had sentimental value, first of all. And second of all is because I had just gotten finished putting, like, I don't know, probably $500 or $600 into that car before I sold it to him. And I kind of took a loss on the price. You know, when I told him how much I wanted for it, I kind of took a loss. Not by much. I mean, you know, the car was a 2003. I sold it to him in 2019, I think, 18 or 19, or something like that. So I had the car for 15 years or so, 15 or 16. But it had like 242,000 miles or something like that on it. It was a really good car. Yeah, I liked that car too. That was like, you know, and I just, the clutch wasn't very old in it. I had just put a new coil pack in it. I had just put new plugs in it, new boots for the spark plugs, and everything else. And all I had to do was fix whatever the problem was with the coil pack or the injector or whatever it was that was wrong with it. I don't remember exactly, but I know that it was only going to cost like $300 or $400 to fix it. If he took it and somebody have it fixed, I could have bought the part and installed it myself and spent a lot less money. But I guess that's what I get for, you know, depending on other people to, you know, I guess respect my wishes, you know. Childhood memories, yeah. How many times did we jam in that car, Ashley? That great big stereo I put in there. Well, I didn't put it in there. Somebody else did, but I had it put in. That stereo was pretty badass. But anyway, that car went to Florida. It went to Virginia. It went to Missouri like 3 or 4 times. It went to through Georgia to Alabama, Talladega, Chelsea, Alabama. It went to Birmingham a few times. So it was a good car, you know. And of course, I drove it a lot and stuff like that. Hello, viewers. I see I got 4 people watching me. You guys don't mind double hitting that screen. Give me a like if you don't mind. Subscribe now if you haven't. I did a live video earlier if you want to go back and watch that. I don't know if it's actually ready yet, but you can go back and watch my live video where I was building a ladder rack for a van at work. There's a couple of mishaps during the recording, but it's okay. Anyway, you can see it in its entirety. Me and my daughter were just talking about a car I own, and it was a good little car. When I got it, it was blue. I don't remember. I think it was like a midnight blue or starlight blue or something like that. And my mom passed away in 2011, and I got a pretty good chunk of money in insurance settlement. And you know, my favorite color is orange, and I always wanted an orange car. So I took it to a body shop and had it painted, and they painted it Hugger orange, which is the same orange color, you know, they put like on the 68, 69 Camaros, the old Chevrolet cars, you know, like 68 to 72. They put it on the Chevelle, the Camaro, the Corvette, and a few other cars, muscle cars during that time. And it was called Hugger Orange. and then I had two white racing stripes, and it was painted like a Camaro, you know, on the hood. And I really, it was a badass little car. It was a little 5-speed on the floor. It had the Ecotec 2.2 motor in it. I mean, that motor, I could beat that motor to death and I couldn't kill it. So it was a really good car, but I took good care of it. You know, I changed the oil every 3,000 miles, just like you were supposed to. I don't think it ever went more than like maybe 4,000 miles without getting an oil change. Starlight Blue, yeah. And the thing is that, you know, your car, when you own a car, especially when it's brand new, you know everything that's been done to that car. So I had that car since it had like 17 miles on it. I got it for my 41st birthday? Well, let's see, I've been here 15 years. So I got it for my 39th or 40th birthday. My dad, he calls me one night and he says, "Hey, what are you doing for dinner?" And I said, "Well, he lives in Missouri, or lived in Missouri at the time." So he calls me on the phone and he goes, "Hey, Jimmy, what you doing for dinner?" And I said, "Well, Dad, you know, my wife's cooking dinner right now, so we're getting ready to eat." And he was like, "Oh, well, because I was going to have you meet me." And I said, "What do you mean, meet you? You're in town?" He goes, "Yeah." So, like, it was really rainy season that year, and we lived in Monroe, North Carolina, and it was really rainy that season. And this was like early spring, right? And it was, you know, it would rain for like 3 or 4 days straight, then it would stop for, you know, a day or two, and then it would rain again. So it was raining like hell. So he says, "Here, I need you to take the key to my truck." So he out to there's something I forgot. I need you to go get it for me. And I was like, "Okay, cool." So he gives me this key, and I go out and I hit the unlock button, and this car lit up, and I was like, "No fucking way." So he sent my little brother out to help me get it off of he had a tow behind, or I don't, it was on his truck, whatever, you know. It was like one of those, like you pull it with the front tires, you know what I mean? Anyway, so he had it on a tow dolly, and on a Suburban. He pulled that thing all the way from Missouri to North Carolina. So by the time I got it, it had 900 more miles on the back tires than it did on the front tires. So that was kind of a funny thing. And then on the front seat, it had a card. So I opened the card, and it was a little kid riding a tricycle on the card. And it said something about enjoying the ride when you're on a trip in life, enjoy the ride, or something like that. And I immediately broke into tears, because that was like the coolest thing, you know, when you get something like that from a parent. That, I mean, because I hadn't seen my dad like all my life. I grew up without my dad, and so it was kind of interesting, you know, that I'd only known him for just a few years, and you know, here he is giving me a car for my birthday, and I thought that was like the super cool thing. And all right, come on, you gonna let me by? No, you're not. Okay, so I'm gonna have to slow down. You're gonna have to go, and I got to get in that lane. Okay, so anyway, but I mean, it was just like the coolest thing. And of course, I went and hugged his neck, and I took good care of that car. Well, my wife was a little bit of my wife at the time, I'm not going to say her name, and Ashley, don't get upset, okay? But this is part of my story, and I'm sticking to it. So my wife was looking for attention one time. She had done some stuff that I didn't agree with, and I was a little upset with her, and I believe she ran my car into somebody on purpose, because she did the same thing with her ex-husband before me. So anyway, busted up the front end on my car. Now this was after I had my car for a few years, and I was so upset. And that was another reason I had it painted, because I wanted to fix all the body damage. I had two front quarter panels that were a little crunched. The hood was bent at the very end. There wasn't much of a gap, you know, but like one of the headlight that broke the aiming bracket on the headlight, so that the headlight bounced on the road, you know, when you were going. And so not only did I get it painted the orange, that Hugger orange color, but I had the two front quarter panels replaced. I had the front clip replaced, you know, like it has the Chevrolet emblem and all that. And then the headlight housings, I had those replaced. And then there was a couple of things inside that I had to fix. What is this guy doing? He's trying to make a left. Oh, good God. I hope he doesn't hit anybody. Oh, that was a pretty good turn, I guess. There's a trucker school. You fell asleep on Grandma Margaret. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, man, my voice is, I'm losing my voice. Allergies are bad this year. God. But I've been taking some stuff. It's called wormwood. It's supposed to kill enzymes or like parasites in your body. And it dries my throat out, but I don't have anything to drink today. I was drinking my Mountain Dew while I was doing my live feed earlier. But anyway, so I had a lot of adventures in that car, you know, and I actually had even put a trailer hitch on it. I rode dirt bike motorcycles at the time, and four-wheel. My daughter had a four-wheeler. My other daughter had a dirt bike, and then I had a dirt bike. And so I would go to motocross parks, and I would, you know, hook the trailer up on that little Cavalier, and I would pull the trailer, you know, with my little Cavalier. What's up, Hegstrom? How we doing? Yo, 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 cuzzo. Doing all right, man. I just got off work a little bit ago. I'm almost home now. I did a live video earlier. I was building a ladder rack at work. Yeah, out and doing laundry, huh? Yeah, I'm getting tired of doing laundry, man. I do the laundry, I take out the garbage, I clean up after dinner, I fucking load the dishwasher, I make the bed, I fold the clothes. Yeah, so I know the feeling. I wasn't even sure if you still wanted to be on, so I took the chance, and you're still here. Well, actually, I did take a break in between. So I had a live video earlier. I did like a 40-minute video, because that's how long it only took me that long to do that ladder rack on that truck. So I did a 40-minute video earlier. I was thinking it was going to be longer than that, but I had already built three of those ladder racks, so that was the fourth one. So I was rocking and rolling, you know, by that time. And I was telling Ashley earlier, you know, that first ladder rack only took me about an hour and a half, and I think the second one may have taken like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. And then the third one, I know I probably did in a little less than an hour, but then the last one only took me like 40 minutes. So that was really, really cool. And as soon as I got finished, I ended the video, but there was at one point that I knocked I had my phone sitting on a table and had it propped up against some paper towels. Well, I guess I bumped the table, and the weight of my phone pushed the paper towel, so my phone fell. Yeah, and Ashley said she couldn't hear what I was saying. I think at first she could, but I was probably pretty close to to the phone at that point, but you know, oh well. Anyway, so I'm pulling up in my driveway right now, so I'm gonna take off. This is my second video today. I did have to stop and get some go juice. My voice is a little tired today. I guess it's probably because I did that video earlier, and then Ashley said it looked like I was talking to myself, which I guess in a way I was, because well, nobody could hear me. All right, Ashley. Hey, listen, don't call me at 10 o'clock at night anymore. Like, you called me at like 15 after 10 last night. I was already in bed. You know me, I go to bed early, please. Okay? All right, well, hey, Jason, I'm sorry I missed you, man. Go back and watch my video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Ashley, I love you. Have a good night. All right, bye, viewers.